All you need is a little bit of space. You know the drill. Let's go ahead and get the body moving. I'm going to take a step side to side, get the blood flowing through the legs, and I'm going to start up top. I want to loosen up around my neck and shoulder line. So I'm going to go big circles back and down. So I start with these really dramatic circles, loosening up around my neck and shoulders, and breathing. Good job. Keep that going. Big circles. Great. I'm going to keep the legs moving side to side, and I'm going to start to do the reach up. Reach it up now. Good. You better go. Yes, baby. You can say hi. Hi.
They will give us a surprise. Don't even copy.
You're absolutely stop that.
No, white कंबल को तो रखना पड़ेगा.
No.
तो बच्चे भी कर रहे हैं.
Okay, bye. Now you gotta go close the door, please, love. Want to hug me? Okay, great. Come on. Quick hug. Quick hug. Oh, go on. So we're popping up those knees, loosening up the hip flexors.
Which one is that, Brittany? Is that Harper or Sadie?
Away with being really cute, but I just need to hug you. I just need to kiss you. So she's getting away with it right now. She knows what she's doing. She's just really cute. She knows how to be cute. Keep the chest up, feet hip width apart, and go into a squat. Awesome. Class today, mute yourself. If you have background noise or you're listening to music, awesome. So I'm doing these squats right now, and I'm trying to get pretty deep in the squat. If you're okay with it, it's kind of twofold. It's warming up my legs, but it's also going to stretch the low back. Good, and keep that going. One more if you want, and then do modified or regular jumping jacks. Getting the heart rate up a bit. Awesome job. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to keep a wide step. I like this one. Kick it back, stretch out the quads. If at any point you just need more intense stretch, you could kind of just hold it for a few seconds. Switch it up. Now I'm going to add in the arms. I go through this rowing motion, getting the stretch to the chest and warming up the back. Good, and keep that going. Awesome. Abs are tight. Now I'm going to go reach across. If you get dizzy, just look forward and move the arms. If you're all right, go ahead and do that twist, rotating. I'm going to stretch out my core, stretching out the back of the arm, also warming up. Good. Fantastic. And then from here, abs tight, and I'm going to go to a kick out. And if you took the class on Monday, whoo, this kick out feels great because you're getting that stretch to that hamstring. And we did a lot of hamstring things. We did this one on the where there was kind of a single leg deadlift, and that will make you sore. I also felt very sore on the sides. It's always a great place to feel sore. My abs are a little tight as I kick out, and that's because if there's any lean back, my back will be protected by keeping a tight core. Good. Chest up, feet about hip width apart. I'm going to squat it on down. I'm going to pop on the toes. Good. So here I am squatting on down, and I do start to lift up on the toes. As I'm lifting up on the toes, it requires a little bit of balance. Maybe you need to hold on to a backup chair, a counter, or maybe you just stay with squats. I like it though because it's starting to warm up the ankles. Also, you get that strengthening of the calf a little bit more. One more. Back to modified or regular jumping jacks. and take a breath. Keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hip flexors. We're going to circle them out for range of motion. Good job. Good. So here I am going for range of motion, getting that hip moving. I'm going to switch directions of that. And I'm going to start with it wide, toe out, and bring it on back. This requires a little bit of balance, yes, so you might need to have the hands out for support. And one more. Abs a little tight. Swing kick time. Leg goes out. I'm aiming towards opposite hand, but with that, you don't have to actually touch the hand to toe. You just kind of keep the hands out for a marker and to help with balance. Breathe. Excellent job. Awesome. Now I'm going to take my back. I'm going to actually take my hips and draw them in a circle, and that's going to help loosen up my low back. So I'm going to get some breaths. Take your time. Go slow. If you feel like, man, that's a good stretch, you can kind of hang out and hold it for a few more seconds. Good breathing. Switch directions. Fantastic. Okay. I'm going to choose to do a couple of stagnant stretches. So this leg is soft. That means there's a little bit of bend. It's my balance leg. I'm going to straighten out this leg, pop that toe on up, reach on down. I'm always aware that that I keep the joint soft. I don't want to invert the knee. Okay, so I don't want to lock out that knee. I'm aware of that. Joint stays soft. I reach on down. I get the stretch in the hamstring and the calf. Deep breathing, and we come on up slow. Switch the leg out. Supported leg has a bend. Straighten, pop toe, reach on down. And again, if you were in Monday's class, the stretch might be necessary. Take your time in it. Breathe through. I haven't done single leg deadlifts in a while. I definitely feel this. And slow to up. Hip flexor. I'm going to go ahead and take a step out. I'm going to drive the hip flexor forward. My back heel is on the ground. Hip flexor's forward. I kind of drive forward to get in the right position. My feet are hip width apart, toes are forward. And that leg that's back, same side arm can come up. And it will continue the stretch up to the abdomen. Get a little deeper stretch. Great. I'm going to go ahead and switch. Again, drive the hip flexor forward. Same side of the leg that's back, same side arm can pop up. Doesn't have to. Breathe. Good job. Awesome. I hear a little bit of music, and that's awesome. Just make sure you put yourself on mute. Okay, so right now I'm going to make sure I have everything I need. Dumbbells, yes. Mat, yes. Water. If you need a quick sip, sneak it in right now. And then come back, you need 1 dumbbell. Awesome. So I have my dumbbell, and I'm going to start with a goblet squat. Now, 1 dumbbell, this is a pretty light dumbbell. If you guys want to do 2, yes, you could kind of sneak 2 in there, and it won't be a true goblet squat unless you have heavier weight. Then just switch out your weights. You want to just hold the 2 weights together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start off. I'm going to start my toes pointed forward. I'm going to go feet a little bit wider than the hips though, keeping the chest up, spine stays straight. I'm not going to fall forward in my squat, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come down so that my elbows pretty much touch the top of my thighs. Now, if your knees don't feel comfortable, only go down as far as your body allows. Maintaining good form is above all else. So listen to your body. If you feel like you're giving up form, then you just back off. Only go down a little bit, take away the weight, modify. So here we are in this goblet squat. And again, I have a pretty light weight, so feel free to add 2 weights or just bump to a heavier weight if you have them. As I do my goblet squat though, I'm gonna focus in on my form. When I'm in my low phase, my feet are flat on the ground, yes, but I am definitely anchoring heavier through the heel. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's come low, body weight in the heel, push on up, and when we come up to the top, I'm gonna really push through, squeeze the glutes all the way through. Squeeze the glutes. And squeeze the glutes. Back stays straight. Cool. Doing this, looking good. Awesome. So we're gonna add a little bit of cardio, do 3 more, and in 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna take my 1 weight. If you had 2, you need to set 1 away and make sure you're not gonna trip on it. Now, modification for this one. My feet are wider than my hips. I bend down. The weight can be about knee height. Reach on up. You don't have to use weight. That would be another way to modify. Now I'm gonna bring it all the way to the ground if you can. Switch out the weight, pop it on up. I'm gonna show it one more time. And I'm gonna add cardio element to it. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna pop on my toes at that low phase. So I pop toes, land feet. And let me show you in real time what it's gonna look like. Up, pop toe, land feet. Pop toe, land feet. Pop toe, land feet. Hopefully you got it. Hopefully you can see me well enough. And go ahead and choose one of these to do, and we go for it. 10, 9, 8. My back is straight. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. I'm gonna march it out. I'm gonna work my breathing, recover the breathing. Cool, okay. When you feel recovered, feel free to move on. I'm gonna start with my weight in my right hand. And actually, let's start with the weight in the left hand and the right foot forward. They'll feel a little more balanced. So here I am, right foot forward, you're my mirror. And I'm gonna go ahead and have weight in the left. I'm gonna go ahead, lunge down, coming up, you have options. It could be a bicep curl, it could be an overhead extension, also an option with the leg. You can simply tap, you can do knee up, you can do kick out. Okay, so find something in there. Here I go. Reach, kick, reach, kick. Woo, balance. Lots of balance, which is good. Means we're working our core, which in this one's gonna be a lot of glute. And in 10, breathe. 9, 8. So what's happening here? We're coming down to a pretty deep lunge. You don't have to touch the ground. You don't have to come that deep. My spine needs to stay straight. If you're arching, especially in the low back, it's too much. Don't go down so low. The arm can go overhead if you are okay with the shoulder, if you're not out of breath. Fantastic. So now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna add a pop. Now from here, it can be as simple as a lunge to a upward row. Lunge and upward row. Now I'm gonna go lunge, upward row, and I'm gonna pop up in this lunge jump. So let me show you. So right now, what I'm gonna do, in my lunge, spine is straight, and I pop down low, pop. Good, so I'm in my deep lunge. My knee comes up. I jump off the ground with that upward row. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. Okay. Great job. I'm going to set down the weight. Grab your breath. Make sure you are in control of your breathing. Good stuff. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and go sumo squat. So what's happening here, legs about double hip width apart. My toes are now out. And I don't go all the way where they're facing the walls. It's just at a few degrees. Chest is up. I'm going to start off with just a squat. Make sure I can breathe. And I'm going to add to this, where if you feel like you can handle a little bit more, you can join me. Let's get this squat down though first. Or build off here. So my feet are flat, yes. I want to be careful. I'm not pushing my weight on the outside of the foot. Do you understand what I'm saying? When I'm in my low, that I'm not pushing off the outside of my foot. And the same way, not also from the inside. Most people would push off the outside because we're tight in our outer thigh glute or we're stronger there. Chest stays up. Cool. Now feel free to continue here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come low, and I'm going to hold, and I'm going to pop up on my toe. I had to inch my feet in a little bit because of balance. I'm going to go ahead and pop up, pop up. Cool. Are your ankles okay? Can you do this? Try it out. I push my knees wide, I hold that there. Chest stays up, no falling forward. Good. So let's go ahead and go 3, 2, 1. Press to up, squeeze that glute. Low, hold. 3, 2, 1. Press to up, squeeze inner thighs and glute. 3, 2, 1. Press to up, squeeze it. 3, 2, 1. Press and squeeze. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Press and squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Press and squeeze. One more. 3, 2, 1. Press and squeeze. Cool. Now, as before, we kind of added in that next level where there was a cardio plyometric move to get that heart rate up. Your modification for this one, stepping the side, reach down as far as you like. That's your modified. If you can, keep that sumo squat stance. I'm going to pop down to the ground and jump in and jump back out. I'm going to switch hands up. Good breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly up. Work the breathing, recover, grab some water. Recover. Take your time. When I come back, I'm going to move to upper body and core work. And because of time, I'm splitting that lunge on the right to the lunge on the left. So in the next half, we'll get the lunging in on the other leg. So I have my mat. I'm going to pull it on out. I'm going to end up doing some push-ups here. But if you don't like a push-up, we can figure something else out. Reasons I want to do a push-up. I don't know, maybe you have carpal tunnel, it hurts on the wrist, hurts the shoulder, your form is not good yet, you need to build strength before then I would modify. The modifications I would do would take me maybe to a wall push-up, okay? I could start with body as a box. That means all four. I can walk the knees out. Next stage would be lifting the leg, taking away some balance. And then after that, you start to go onto the toe. If none of that is comfortable because it's a really bad wrist problem, go onto your back, take your dumbbells, and work the chest press with weights in hand. Okay, if you are up for the challenge, from the knees or from the toes, we are gonna do a walking push-up. So I'm gonna kind of start on one end where half of me is off the mat, half is on the mat. I'm gonna do 3 push-ups, walk it on over, 3 push-ups. I'm gonna repeat that 4 times. So here I go. If I'm on my knees, it's like this. It's a little more awkward to walk it. It's not that bad though. I'm gonna pop onto my toes. Now I'm in a plank. Let's go ahead. My hands are down from my shoulder. A little bit wide is okay. My elbows aim down and back. Let's hit 3. Ready? Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Walk it, open, walk it, open. 3, 2, 1. Both hand and foot lift at the same time if you can. Open, close it, open. Kind of getting it? Cool. 3, 2, 1. Together, open, together, open. 3, 2, 1. Together, open, together, open. Do you understand what I'm saying? That we're trying to move the arm and leg at the same time. Fantastic. Grab your dumbbells. Now, maybe you want to take this one to either a kneel or standing. I'm going to go onto my knees, like so. What this does here is when we're standing, our ankle joint absorbs some of that wobble and our knee joint. Now we take away the joints and it's going to come from the core that we lock down so we're not moving. So it just kind of works the core a little bit as we're going through some of these movements. Shoulders are back and down. Take a breath. If the legs are wide, it's going to help with stability. Here we go. I'm going to do this arch. I start at my hip, and if you need to modify, modifications might be 1 arm at a time, less reps, or no weight. Locking up that core so I'm not wobbling. I want to make sure my hip flexors, glutes, low back, abs are tight. Continuing with my arch. Good job. 1 more. I'm going to pop my palm up. Okay? And I don't want to have a weak wrist. Keep your wrist strong. Arch it. Now we're getting more chest on this one. So flex and squeeze. Pectorals, which is your chest. Now, again, you can kind of just come in. I'm doing bad form. I'm showing just the weight coming in. That's no good. Get those elbows in and flex and squeeze the pecs. Breathe it. Good. Keep that going. Excellent job. And in 5, feeling the biceps, the shoulder, the upper back, the chest. 4, 3, 2, last one, and 1. Cool. I'm gonna set my weights down. Awesome. So now I'm gonna move to another push-up 1. If you don't like push-ups, let's talk about a modification that might be more suitable. I'm gonna go down to either my toes or my knees, and I'm gonna hold my plank, pop it back for either going to be child's pose, or you could do, I've heard this called like dolphin push-up, where I'm on my forearms and I lift my hip. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go push up, and then I'm gonna go drive the hip up, and then I'm gonna kind of dive bomb lift the chest back to a neutral spine plank, push up. It's gonna make more sense once you see me do it. If you need to watch for a little bit, watch, and then you can join me when you get the hang of it. Feel free to modify, stay on your knees and your forearms. So I'm gonna start my hip up. So I'm in my, what's called downward dog. I'm gonna bend in the elbow, dip it down low, lift in the chest, cobra. Then I'm gonna right my posture, spine stays straight, push up. Push on back, dive bomber. Ready? Elbows bend, lift that chest, cobra, right your spine, push up. Push the hips back, back to downward dog. Push, getting ready to hit back into cobra, right your spine, push up, hips back. Elbows bend, lift that chest, right your spine, push up, push the hip back. One more. And great. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab my dumbbells. I'm gonna either stand, I could sit back and kneel, or I could be up on my knees like I did in that first round. Up to you. Shoulders are backing down. I'm gonna start low. I'm gonna go overhead extension all the way up. I'm gonna focus on the weight pressing up. We're gonna do 5 here, and then we're gonna focus on the weight coming down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and now we change the focus. Shake out your shoulders, stretch your neck if you need to. I'm gonna lift my weights up, and they're gonna be at a little bit at a diagonal. I'm gonna take my time, and I'm gonna pretend it's a bar. I'm squeezing it down till it hits the top of my chest, then I pop it back up. So now we focus on the descent. Get ready? Press. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. I'm gonna stretch out my neck. Cool. Okay, so now we're gonna go slow up, slow down. We're gonna give it a little bit of focus on both, and we're gonna go for 5. So I'm gonna go slow up, squeeze it down. 5, 4, arms hopefully are tired. We are working them. Good job. Almost there. 3, 2, and last one. Good, good, good. Whew. Okay, great. I'm gonna set my weights off to the side. I'm gonna lay down on my back. I'm gonna do knees bent to begin, fingertips behind the ears. And from here, I'm gonna lead up, shoulder going diagonal. So shoulder, shoulder. Recover your breathing. Good job. Right off the bat, this might be a little bit easy for you. We could start to do things with our legs to make it a bit harder. But try your best to really work that crunch and flex, getting the most out of even simple exercises by engaging the right muscles. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna contract low abdomen, really pushing it down. I'm gonna press down the top of the abs, and I'm gonna continue. And again, you can lift the legs. You can even go straight with the legs. Good. Keep that going. Side to side. You can even add a reach. Good. Almost there. Fantastic. I'm gonna bring down the legs. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and lay my hands down to my side. I could slide them underneath my low back, making like a diamond. Or if that's not comfortable, I'm just gonna keep them bracing, framing my body. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide them underneath like high butt, low back-ish area, wherever it feels comfortable for you. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go start with toes down, knees in. If this is too easy, you're gonna go ahead and change it up a bit to go into a lift up. So here you got a reverse crunch, tight abs. You wanna drive the abdomen in so much so that you're able to get this lift off. It lightens up your legs, you're able to get some air with that butt coming off the ground. And again, if that's too much, knees in is great. Just do that. Do what you can do. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. So right now we're gonna go ahead, we're at that halfway mark. Grab a sip of water, get ready to reset and head back to legs. So I'm gonna move my mat out of the way. So water, work the breathing, maybe pick your mat up and move it out of the way. Okay, so water, let the water get down, work the breathing, any stretching, all this is good right now. Make sure that you are fully recovered with breath before moving on. And I'm gonna grab a dumbbell. I'm gonna hit up the goblet squat. So if last time you used 2 dumbbells or a heavier weight, go ahead and go for that. I'm gonna hold on to my dumbbell. I guess how you would hold a goblet. I've never held a goblet. This isn't, I guess, how you hold it, but here we go. So here I am. My back is straight. I'm gonna hit my elbows to the top of my thighs, and I'm gonna keep my body weight back in my heels. So I'm gonna push down through the heel and drive up, squeezing the glute all the way to the top. Flex. If your knees hurt, don't come down as low. Listen to your body over my voice. Do what you can do. Add more weight. It would probably be you holding the weights though. Or just use a heavier weight if you have multiple sets. Now let's use good form, meaning make sure you're really driving up through the heel and you're getting that flex and squeeze of the thigh. Squeezing, flexing, pull the glutes in all the way to the top. Keep that going, make the most out of your time. Good breathing. Excellent job. 2 more. Cool. Okay, so I have my weight. I'm gonna go ahead and separate the legs so they're about double hip width apart. I'm gonna pop it down. This is my modification. Press it up. Pop it down, and maybe it's not a press up, but look what I'm doing. I'm just doing a hammer bicep curl, okay? Now I'm gonna hit all the way to the ground. I'll show a few with just an extension, and I'm gonna start to do a jump from my toe, okay? So I'm gonna go toe pop, heel land. Toe pop, heel land. Toe pop, heel land. Okay, do what you can do, find it, let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7. Make sure you're coming low enough, bending the knees and not reaching down by arching the back. And in 3, 2, oops, and 1. Good. Okay, so make sure you grab your breath. 3 deep breaths in and out before moving on. The weight is going to the right hand. The left leg pops forward. The move is reach down low. Come in, maybe it's a bicep curl, tapping in. Maybe you can go ahead and pop that knee. I'm gonna go overhead, I'm gonna try a kick, but progress however you need to, okay? So low lunge, overhead kick. So there's a few things, a lot happening here. Let's talk through so we get as much out of it as we can. And in this low lunge, the front leg is always the focus. Yes, the other leg is moving, but it's trying to offset balance to challenge this front leg. So really get your balance, drive down through the heel, feel your glute, your hamstring, strengthening as we do this. Keep it going. Excellent job. Try to come down low if you can into that lunge. Push on out of it. If you have hardwood floor, it's gonna help with balance. But hey, maybe you wanna trick up your balance. So instead, you make the conscious choice to maybe find a little carpet to do this on. Or you could double up your mat and do this on a mat, and that'll make it a little bit harder. Okay, I'm gonna add in the cardio element. You don't ever have to jump. It can be as simple as an upward row to tapping in. You kind of want to stay a little bit low though, even if you're doing this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay in this low lunge. I reach down a little bit farther, and then I'm gonna go upward row, back knee pops up, I jump off the ground with the front leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, almost. 4, feel that leg. 3, almost. 2, 1. Whew. Set the weight down. Get your breathing down. Okay, I'm gonna go legs double hip width apart, toes out a few degrees. And here I am. Sumo squat, Pilates squat. Here we go. Chest is up, abs tight, spine straight. I want to get my form. So what's happening here? Push the knees out wide. What I mean by that is you don't want the knees to tuck in. When you're in the low phase, it should be over about midfoot. The knee should line up over midfoot. Okay? Chest stays up. Keep that going. So if you're gonna stay here, you're gonna have good form. Push through the heel. Don't push through the outer part of the foot. Push evenly through the foot. What I mean by that is not going inside, outside of the foot. But yes, I do anchor in the heel. Keep that chest up. And when we come up, we squeeze the inner thigh towards each other like it's being magnetized. Okay, you got that? Cool. Okay, so last time we did this like on the toe thing. If you have that balance, if you don't today, you can grab a chair or a countertop and have that in front of you. If you have it already, then that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna come down, knees wide, chest up. I'm gonna pop all the way up while staying on the toe. If you don't like it, you can do what we did before, which was like a lift up instead, okay? So I'm gonna try this. So I'm gonna drive my inner thigh towards each other. Keep it going. Hands out there a little bit for balance if you need it. Keeping the spine stacked. We're not falling forward. That's important. Protect that back. Abs are tight. Glute strong. Coming down, extending up. If your knees don't like it, that's okay. Just keep your feet flat and do that regular Pilates squat or sumo squat, whatever you call it. I'm looking at myself, I'm trying to come down to almost that 90-degree bend. And then I push the inner thigh together and I squeeze the glute when I come up to the top. Fantastic. Can you go to the next level? You don't have to. Feel free to put your feet flat on the ground and do a pulse, or knees out, hold on to something if you need to, and pulse it out. Knees are wide, chest is up, no falling forward in the spine. Keep on moving. Legs should be shaken, legs are tired, growing stronger, pushing through. If it's painful, we don't push through. If it feels challenging, yes, you can try to push through a bit to grow stronger. Here we go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. I'm gonna walk that out a second. I add in the cardio. Your modification is stepping side to side with a nice reach out. And yes, you can pick up some pace and move pretty fast to get the cardio up. You never have to jump though. So I'm gonna do that jump one, trying to keep the plie form where I jump wide, toes out. I'm gonna reach on down right, same thing, moving to the left. Pop, pop, good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Good work. Work the breathing. Take your time, stretch if you need to, grab some water, come back with the mat and dumbbells. Okay, my mat out, my dumbbells out. I'm gonna start moving on. I'm gonna set up with my dumbbells more towards my feet and a little bit wide. We're gonna go through kind of that idea of the moving push-up. There we go, moving push-up. But if you don't like a push-up, you can do a wall push-up. If you need to, do a chest press, lay on your back. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a tiger crouch, walk it out, push up. Now with the tiger crouch, it's not for everyone because it may be too much pressure in the leg. So instead, you could walk it on up, downward dog, walk it on down, or you can stay on your knees, walk it back, get that stretch child's pose, walk it forward, push up low. Got it? Okay, I'm gonna go tiger crouch. Here I am. I'm in this pounce position, walk it on out, nice plank, push up, walk it on back. Let's go for it. Let's go 10. Whew. Get as many as you can in. 9 up to 10, I mean. Good breathing. 8. 7. Good job, good job. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Whew. Good job. Grab your dumbbells. You can stand up, you can kneel back. Find what is going to be best for you. I'm going to choose to do this kneeling one. That's going to make me forced to kind of use my core muscles. So I think of hip flexors, butt, low back, abs. I'm going to go bicep curl forward, bicep curl wide. Forward, wide. Keep your core tight. I'm still recovering breathing, so work on your breathing too. Good job. So when I do this bicep curl, I'm going to show bad form on the next one, so watch. See how I rotated my wrist? That's no good. Lock up your wrist. No over rotation of the wrist. We are simply bending at the elbow. We're adding that little bit of rotation to get it forward and side. Keep that going. Good job, good job. Okay, so now we're gonna add to this one. I'm gonna go ahead and act like I'm a server. Okay, I'm serving, I'm gonna push out my weight, open it wide, come on back to the side. Push out the weight, pull it in front, bring it back in. Serve that tray. Good job. Now I'm gonna try to keep the weight as if it's on like a countertop, gliding around. So I'm trying not to dip it too much, trying not to lift it too much, keep it in the same plane. Keep that going. Arms should be nice and tired. You're doing great. One more, bring it back. Good, hold it 90 degrees. Pulse, and again, this is not coming from the wrist, it's only the elbow up, down. Only the elbow. So I'm doing this little pulsing action. Again, not the wrist up, down, not the wrist rotating up. Dropping that elbow, lifting that elbow an inch. Cool. Now it's a push out in. Really should be tiring out those biceps. Let's fatigue them out today. Okay, if your wrist is getting tired, you're gripping too tight. You could cradle the weight or set the weight down. Bring it wide, up, down. I'm trying not to hold my elbow in at my side and using that as leverage. I'm gonna keep the elbow off the body. Pulsing it out, keeping it wide. They're wanting to pinch in. I gotta try and fight to keep that wide. Good breathing. Now push out in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and whoo, that is tough. I'm gonna set my weight down, coming back. So what I'm gonna try to do here is see how I'm stretching out my wrists too after that last one, because after gripping so much, my wrist got tired. So I'm just going big circles one way, big circles the other way, up, down, side to side, finger stretch. Take as long as you need to. This one is gonna be modifications, okay? So I'm gonna show some. So if you don't like it, after you see what I'm doing, why don't you watch modified and start there. So what I'm gonna do is push up, single arm reach back. Push up, reach back. Now, right away, if you have weak shoulders, past injury, wrist problems, any of that, this is not for you. And that's okay, okay? You need to rehab that, get fully better, and it may never be for you, and that's also okay. You can do a wide push-up from the wall. You could stay on your knees and do a normal push-up. You could go onto your back and do a chest fly instead. These are all options. Okay, so again, I would not do this if I had a shoulder injury in my past, okay, or present. I'm gonna go ahead. I can be on my knees, that's fine. I'll show knees first. Down and reach. Down and reach. I'm gonna go onto my toes. Down, reach. I wanna make sure I get that push-up off and I am not rushing this, okay? You don't want to put that arm in a funky position. You wanna make sure you come to that perfect plank. You can add that little bend, and I'm not getting down super far. I'm just getting a little bit. Maybe you can go farther than me, that's great. And 4, 3, 2, feel your core, and 1. Fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and come back to my dumbbells. Cool. Now, make sure you have the breathing down before moving on, because I'm gonna go hands over head in a second, and you never wanna move into that if you are out of breath, okay? So you gotta make sure you have your breathing down. I'm gonna go hands over head, tricep extension. This is not for everyone, especially if you feel like you're pushing your neck forward. It's not worth hurting the neck or shoulders. So instead, you are gonna do a tricep pushback. If you feel tired from holding the core up, you can lay down on your back, lift the hands straight up over the shoulder, and do a tricep press, also called a skull crusher, okay? You could also do a straight arm back. I'm gonna lift my arms. I'm gonna aim my elbows at the camera, at the mirror, or at you guys. And I'm gonna go ahead and lift. I don't do this one all too often, and that's because a lot of times we don't have the best form, meaning people's necks start to push forward, they protrude forward, that's not good, or we're just tight and our elbows are popping too wide. And so we use a lot of different tricep ones. But once in a while, I do like to do this, okay? So my core is strong, my elbows are forward, I'm bringing my weight down pretty low, and I fully extend and lower back down. And I can tell I'm a little bit tight because my one arm keeps wanting to pop wide. And in 4, 3, 2, and last one. And 1. Great. I'm gonna set my weight off to the side so it doesn't get in the way. I'm gonna lay down on my back. And I'm gonna start off with, I can do this modified bicycle where that, not the elbow, but the shoulder is moving and the knee is moving. And you can go ahead and change that up to being where I'm up a little bit more in my crunch, and that crunch doesn't really get a break. It just rotates side to side, okay? And then I'm really pushing through, trying to get that shoulder to the knee, keeping the abs tight, keep continual breath. Good job. Tight abs the whole way through. Good job. And in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Okay, so now going back to legs down, if that's how you like it. What you're gonna do is lift the leg and you're gonna go up for 2. Switch it. 1, 2, switch it. 1, 2. See how we're going? Now, if you want to, legs can be tabletop. Extend one out, opposite, and we go 1, 2, switch it. 1, 2, switch it. 1, 2, switch it. 1, 2, switch it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep that going. You're getting in that double crunch. Almost there. And in 4, 3, 2, and 1. I gotta get both sides though. And cool. Whew, you did it. We made it through today. I'm gonna go right into a stretch. If you need to actually grab water beforehand, always listen to your body, grab some water. So I'm gonna lay down on my back, hands overhead, long body, long spine. Stretch out the arms. Now I'm stretching up my low back, my abdomen, my arms, and I work my breathing. Breathing is super important at this point. Let's go ahead and focus on that. Now go ahead and take a deep breath in, release it, and hug your knees in. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my knees as tight as I can, and that's gonna round up my low back. And then I'm gonna loosen that grip, and I'm gonna draw circles. So draw some circles, loosen up that back, switch direction of your circle. And I'm pretty close to the wall so that I can be in frame. So I'm gonna have to move a little bit for this one. So I'm gonna just move a little bit over. My hands are wide, my palms are down. My knees are bent, tabletop, and I drop them side to side. I'm gonna go 2 to each side. If the stretch feels good though, you don't have to rotate sides, you can just keep it. Now I'm gonna extend my legs out. I'm gonna take one leg, and I'm gonna fold it on over. And I'm gonna bring that back, switch the legs up, and fold it on over. And great. Now you can keep the knees bent, or you could straighten out if you have more flexibility in the hamstring. Oh, my hamstrings are pretty tight today from Monday. So I'm gonna keep mine bent at first, and then when it starts to loosen up, then I'll stretch it out. And this right here, you can get creative. You can use a belt. You can use, they do sell stretching straps. You can use your hands. So here we go, stretching out the back of the leg. I never want to lock out the knee. The leg does appear straight. And now I'm going to pull that toe down. And my leg is starting to finally loosen up. So I was able to lower my bottom leg. But again, you don't have to do that. You can keep the knee bent the whole time. Point the toe up. Circle for the ankle joint. Switch direction of the circle. Opposite arm grabs that leg. It's going to come diagonal. Same side arm goes down. And if you can get full extension, put it down and put the palm down. So this leg goes across the body, and I'm going to point the toe back to the face. And good. Switching up the legs. And I'll start with my bent because last time I was pretty tight. Yep, and again, I'm pretty tight. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that leg bent for a while. And again, if you're not tight, extend the leg out. Continue to breathe. Point the toe down. Lift the toe up. Circle for the ankle joint. Switch direction of the circle. I'm going to go ahead and take my opposite arm, grabs that leg, same side arm, and put that palm down. I bring that leg across the body. I'm going to try to keep my hip down. I'm kind of tight, so mine's popping a bit. I'm going to point the toe back to the face and breathe. Great. Now I'm going to put the ankle on the thigh. I can hug it in, or I can sit up too. So I'm going to choose to hug it in. Here we go. Hugging it in and breathing. Take a nice deep breath here. Good job. Feel that hip opening up. And I'm going to switch. Ankle on the thigh, knee stays wide. You can sit up too, or you can hug it in. And I'll choose to hug it in. Make sure you're breathing. Sometimes when stretches are challenging or new, we hold our breath, but our muscles need the oxygen to perform the stretch. So let's go ahead and make sure we deliver oxygen to the muscles. Fantastic. Okay. So now I'm going to pull my body on up, and I'm going to extend my heels out. I don't want to get caught up on them. And I'm going to reach down for my ankles, my calves, whatever I can reach down for. Fold the body over, get that stretch in the back, as well as the back of the hamstrings, and then breathe. Now the soles of my feet come together, and I'm going to go ahead, and you can push down a little bit with the elbow, as long as you're not forcing it at all. And I'm going to tip a little bit in the hip. So you could get this nice stretch opening up. From here, if you need more of a challenge, feel free to stay here. But if you need more of a challenge, you can extend the legs out. So my legs are out. And then what I would do is I'd walk my hands out and then put a little bit of a bend in the elbow. Now, maybe you have the flexibility to bend where the elbows can reach the ground. That's great. But if you don't today, that's okay. Stretching, like everything else, takes practice, takes time. You will get better. I also like to reach side to side. Fantastic. Now I'm going to go onto my stomach, lift up for a cobra stretch, stretching out abdomen and low back. So you come up on my forearms. I could push up onto my palms, and I do kind of do a little stretch with my neck at this point. From here, I'm going to lock it on in. Feet are hip width apart, and I'm going to extend back into child's pose. When I'm in child's pose, I want to continue deep breathing, and I want to focus on relaxing the upper body and the low back. I'm going to cue you for 3 deep breaths. Breathe in, release, breathe in, release, breathe in, and release. Slide it on to all 4 core. Go ahead and step a leg forward, drive the back hip flexor forward. If this is a good stretch for you, please stay here. If you need it to be harder, by all means, modify it. A lot of you guys have taken my class before. You know the modifications. You can lift up or you can reach on back. This one is pretty intense, especially for the quadricep. And if you tend to get cramps, it's not a good one for you. Breathe through, do not hold breath. Modifications on this one do not mean it's getting easier, it means it's getting harder. So don't do it if it is too much. Good. I'm going to switch. I'm on all 4 core. I step on forward. I drive the back hip flexor forward. Feel free to stay here, or you can modify. Okay. Now I'm gonna slowly make my way to standing up. When you have a mat, you wanna make sure you don't like stick to the mat and trip on it. So just make sure you're aware of that. I've had, especially if people were exercising with bare feet, their feet get sticky and it kind of will pull the mat up and they can trip on it. So just make sure you're okay. From here, neutral, coming up slow, not dizzy. Lift the hand up. Other hand reaches towards the ankle. And I apologize. I see I'm going a little bit over on time, but this is important stretch. So if you hang in with me for one more minute, do so. Hand over and reach. And good. And then shoulders back and down. Pull that arm across. Breathe. Switch it up. Elbow up, gently pull it up. Breathe. Switch it up. Shoulders back and down. Fingertips behind the ears, elbows push back. Breathe nice and deep. Extend those arms out. Thumb pulls back. Open up that chest. You have a little bit of spinal extension. You have to continue deep breathing. Give me a big breath in. Release and hug forward. Drop down. Take a deep breath. Roll on up one vertebrae at a time till we come all the way up to neutral. Continual breath. Shoulders back and down. Keep the shoulders back and down. Chin down. I'm going to go shoulder to shoulder. One more time. And then I'm going to keep a little slack jaw and look on over the shoulder. And I'm going to rotate other side. And I can look up. And you did it. Another class. I'm so proud of you guys. You're doing great. And I'll be back on Friday for cardio kickboxing. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Brett.
You're welcome.